Hey guys, are you team red or team green? In this video, we'll be testing the game performance of a AMD Ryzen 3 3300X with the two mid-range graphics cards to see which one is a better value for a more budget-conscious gamers. On one side, we have an ASUS ROG Strix RX5600XT, and on the other, we have an ASUS ROG Strix RTX2060. The AMD card is priced at around $360 and the Nvidia card is priced at around $389. For this testing, we'll be running an AMD Ryzen 3 3300X on a tough gaming B550M Plus motherboard with a Wraith Prism RGB cooler and 16GB of Corsair LPX DDR4 RAM clocked at 3000 MHz. We've also done some overclocking for the Ryzen chip, as well as both of the graphics cards. This way we have more data points to see if there is any significant performance shift. All the games tested here have been at 1080p with maximum possible settings, except for the Doom Eternal. Here we had to settle for ultra settings as we're limited by the video RAM. To start off here, let's have a look at Total War 3 Kingdoms. If we look purely at average FPS, we find the Nvidia card is a better card here and it takes top 2 spots, with AMD card about 10% behind. When we sort it by 1 percentile, the difference shrinks to 2.6%. As this is not a fast-paced game, but certainly a graphically intense one, you should be aiming at least 60 FPS. With both these cards, you can reach it, but only when overclocked, so realistically you may actually have to tweak the settings down a little. Moving on to Formula 1, we see a very close battle between the both cards. Topping up average FPS is yet again RTX 2060, but only by a few frames. In fact, the full range between the worst and the best were mere 8%. When it comes down to 1 percentile, overclocked RX 5600XT takes the lead by 7%, and the rest of the cards are just within a few percent difference. Next up, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. There is a slight lead from RX 5600XT, and we can see that this test is CPU bottlenecked. This is clear as top 4 results are all running while CPU is overclocked. When it comes down to 1 percentile, well, the results stay exactly the same. For the last game, we've tested Doom Eternal, and here we got about a 5% lead from the RTX 2060 with a total of 10% spread between the best and the worst. Same goes for 1 percentiles. Doom, in comparison to other games, is a fast-paced game and you want to be playing at 100 FPS or above. Overall frame rates in this game are perfect for either one of these cards. With this performance, it is justified to get a 144Hz monitor and enjoy that silky smooth gameplay. So what does all of this mean? Well, for the budget-conscious person, the 3300X is an incredible CPU when paired with a mid-tier GPU. You can play even AAA titles at 1080p at the highest settings with 60 plus frames per second. For titles like Doom Eternal, you can go even past 140 FPS, which is simply amazing. The question is, which GPU should you take? In almost all of our tests, we found that RTX 2060 delivers a better average result, but not by a large margin. However, when it comes down to 1 percentiles, we found that both these cards trade blows, thus it's really hard to flat out recommend either one of them, as the difference between them seems to be based on how the games are optimized. The bottom line is, you'll be happy with either one of these cards, but do watch out for the pricing. As mentioned earlier, this particular version of the AMD card is about $29 cheaper, which is about 8% difference, and right now the price and availability really fluctuates. So if you're upgrading, watch out for those deals and snag it as soon as you can. If you want to check out any of the items we've tested today, we have the links in the description below. I hope this was useful. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up and subscribe for more. We'll see you guys in the next one.